It's time to go crabbing again in Netarts Bay. Nice day, not too much sun. We're about an hour, a little more from high tide. Slack tide's the best time for crabbing because the crabs are out and about, not having to burrow into sand to fight the current. I made some modifications to the crab traps after watching underwater videos on Oregon Life and the Reef Robber. Those guys send expensive cameras down with the crab pots, and you can learn a lot from watching them. One thing is, you don't have to wait half a day. The crabs show up within very few minutes. The other thing I noticed is that the crabs often get tangled up trying to get in the doors. Their claws go above this horizontal bar if it's too low. So I modified mine so they can't get their claws caught. We'll see how that goes. But first we got to get out there and drop the pots. And no, I'm not attaching a camera to the pots. It's a perfect day and place for crabbing. There's no sun, no wind, very few boats, and a rising tide that will reach its peak within an hour. No rivers flow into Netarts Bay. It's very shallow, and at low tide most of it is sand. But there is a deep channel from the marina entrance right along the road, and that's where most people put down their crab pots. This particular pot opens by folding a side down. I thought I had it marked, but I don't. I thought I had it marked. Which one opens? This one. The incoming tidal current is strong enough that we don't have to motor to the next spot. We just wait for a few seconds and toss the second one over. Oregon does not require that crab pots be marked with a red and white buoy. You can use those or milk cartons, but they do have to have your identification on them. We motor a little farther along the channel before dropping the last two pots. Without sending a camera down with the pot, we won't really know how well my modification works, except by results. Oh, the tide's still coming in. So we just drift for a few seconds and then drop the fourth pot. We bought this one 10 or 12 years ago, and it's held up pretty well. It doesn't have doors, just wire all around with a gap. The crabs can push the wire down to get in, but they can't find the gap to get back out. Now, with 4 pots out and about 18 feet of water, we'll put down the anchor, relax, enjoy a beer, some fried chicken, and in a half hour or so, we'll pull up the pots to see how we did. I put the dagger board down for no other reason but to get it out of the way.
Good life.
So, that's all there is to crabbing. Drop the pot, throw out the anchor, open a beer, and eat some nice hot chicken. Pots have been down half an hour. And I've eaten up all the chicken. The gulls got the scraps. I don't know what they do with chicken bones, but they seem to like it. Getting clumsy in my old age. We wear life jackets even on a calm day like this. We didn't always do that with the thick, traditional, bulky, uncomfortable life vests. And we knew we should, so we spent a few extra dollars, got the automatically inflatable kind. We wear them all the time on the water. They're very comfortable. We don't even know they're there. We motored back to the first pot we dropped to pull it first. Pulling crab pots is a little like opening Forrest Gump's box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I don't feel a lot of drag on this one. The smallest crab fell out when I lifted the pot clear of the water. The 2 remaining were female, and even if they'd been male, they were too small. Back down it goes for another try. June and July are not the best months for crabbing. Around here, months ending in ER are considered the best. And the bait we're using might not be doing us any favors either. We use chicken because seals don't like it, but this chicken has already been used once and refrozen. It might not have much flavor left, even for a crab. By the time we'd put that first pot back down, we drifted almost all the way to the second one. You get it? Excellent. Again, there's not much drag. Only 2 crabs in this one. One, obviously female. The other's a male, but it looks too small. Female. Yeah, way too small. And on to the next one. All are either female or males, but too small. This is the 4th pot, the last chance on this pole to get a keeper crab. This male looks like he might be big enough. In Oregon, the minimum size for Dungeness crabs is 5 3/4 inches, measured straight across the back, just behind the points of the shell. Too small, I'm sure. Legal. Our first legal crab of the day goes into the cooler. I'll add water later. This female does not want to let go. One, barely legal. I add a lot of seawater to the cooler to supply oxygen for whatever crabs we might catch on the short trip home. Some people won't transport the crabs in water. They say they run out of oxygen and suffocate. We've never had that problem. And I want the seawater to cook them in. After sitting for another half hour, we raise the anchor and check the pots for the last time this afternoon. Close enough? This time we pick up the nearest one first, the one we put down last, and we'll pick them up and keep them aboard as we make our way back to the boat launch. There is one male crab in the pot. It looks too small, but ever hopeful, I measure anyway.
Oh yeah, way too small.
I thought the line was snagged around the dagger board, so I pulled it up. That wasn't a problem. The boy was on the other side of the boat. At least the line wasn't wrapped around the motor shaft. Oh yeah, the chicken. We won't be saving it this time. The gulls will be happy. One down, or up, I guess. 3 to go.
Female and 2 babies.
Expectations of a crab dinner are dwindling to expectations of a crab snack.
Two little ones. And that's all. That was easy. Come here, you. That was easy too.
Guys are having fun with that chicken breast. One barely legal crab does not make dinner for 2. We had one more chance to get at least one more crab. It looks like we just might have crab number 2. The first 2 were female.
Keep.
So, for dinner, 2 crabs for 2 people, and more old chicken for the seagulls. Ten years ago, well, maybe 20, I'd have just jumped off the pier. Not anymore.
Ready?
Yep. Perfect, sweetie. Good job. We finished tying down the boat, attached the lights, stowed everything where it belonged, and headed home. Boat's taken care of. 2 crabs boiling in seawater. In about 6 or 7 minutes to go. 20 minutes to cook them. Cooked them in seawater, whole, and cleaned them afterwards. Much better flavor. Once I cleaned them and then cooked them in fresh water, no taste. Terrible. No sense in going out and buying crab boil when you can just throw the whole crab in a pot of seawater, 20 minutes boiling, and you've got a mighty tasty crab, and it's easy to clean. Shell pops right off. Break it in half, shake out the guts. 2 crabs. 2 people. Kind of works out all right. After 20 minutes, I pour off the salt water and then put in cold fresh water to cool them off enough to handle. I cleaned the first crab with the camera pointed at the top of my head. This is the second one. First, you remove the male identifier and then pop off the shell, break it in half, pull off the mouth, and those stringy things on the edges are gills. Pull off the gills, wash out whatever that stuff is inside. I understand some folks think that stuff's good to eat. Well, some folks. The gills, the mouth, wash out the yellow stuff, move your head out of the way. That's all there is to that. One small crab is not a full meal, but when combined with scallops and white rice, that is a full meal. Thanks for watching.